How y'all all? Welcome. Moon Griffon Show as we rock and roll on Friday Eve, a week from Thanksgiving, although every day ought to be a Thanksgiving day because we're thankful good Lord gave us such a great country. And we're taking it back, and that's the best thing about it. Anyway, 844-766-6607, Hickson has it hotline. Check us out on Facebook. We are streaming live on Facebook at Moon Griffon. You can watch us, and you see why I got a face for radio. It's not a problem. It's very easy to see. But check us out on Facebook, Moon Griffon. We're streaming. You can make comments. We'll try to maybe answer some of the questions or comments if you make them. And, boy, we get some doozies. Brandon, let me know what they are.
I'm going to look it up now.
Brandon said, oh, my God, here we go. But anyway, check us out on Facebook at Moon Griffon. We are streaming. All right, 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Want to welcome Congressman Abraham, our friend from the 5th Congressional District. First of all, congratulations on your victory.
Hey, thanks so much. And just one quick note.
Yes, sir.
I just stepped out of a meeting to do this with Mike Pence, and let me tell you, they are hitting the ground running. He is, as you know, watching him on TV, he is just a stellar, outstanding guy, but he's already talking planning and strategy even today. So those, him and President-elect Trump are ready to go.
Let me get this straight. You left Pence to talk to me. Are you crazy?
Sir, that is a statement. I left in the middle of a sentence, so look. I'm glad to be here.
No, good to have you. And first of all, I want to say it again. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
You got to be reelected every 2 years, and you were reelected. Now you're on here. We're going to talk about Electoral College, and I was jumping you really hard because I saw your comments on KNOE to get rid of Electoral College. And Doc, I know you're a smart guy. I don't know you as well as some of the other congressmen, but when I saw that, I was floored that any Republican, anybody that claims they're conservative would be against one of the smartest and brightest things our founders did, and it's working to perfection the way it's supposed to work. Now, I'm going to let you make your comment because you made comments you want to get rid of it. It's outdated. So let's stop there because I did blast you now. There's no doubt about it. I said it on there.
And look, man, you know me. If I need to be blasted, I'm man enough to stand up and take the shot.
No, I appreciate you coming, but I wanted to kind of set it up because you wanted, and I want you to explain what you mean and what you're hoping to happen.
Sure. And I appreciate the opportunity. Again, the Electoral College was set up in a time when many groups, women, minorities, couldn't vote. But look, I'll admit that this election taught me, again, that the Electoral College still has a place in modern history, but, and this is a big but, it needs major, major reform. And let me, go into this next point. Trump said he would have won the popular vote if he did, and I totally and absolutely agree with that because, as you know, you have to campaign completely differently for the Electoral College than you do for the popular vote. But if he won Pennsylvania and Michigan, he could have won California, maybe, but he could have won Washington State. He could have won the Massachusetts if he would have had to win the popular vote. My issue with the Electoral College, the way it is set up now, is let's take California, for example, because that's where everything crazy happens in the nation, it seems. We have 4 to 6 million illegals, depending on what study you look at. But they count those illegals to appoint or to elect representatives and senators. And as you know, if you have an extra representative, that's an extra electoral vote. And in California's case, you're looking at, just off the top of my head, 6 or 8, maybe even 10 electoral votes. That's the equivalent of a state or a couple of smaller states. If you go to Washington State, same thing. But let's go to New York, where you also have a big illegal population. Again, they have, representatives that probably shouldn't be there because of the illegal population. I think in California, they had something like 9.7 million people voted. And Florida, they had 9.4 million people, but, Florida only got 29 electoral votes. California gets 55. So, look, I am so happy, as you know, elated, like I'm sure hopefully most of your listeners, that we have got a President-elect Trump and a President-elect Vice President Mike Pence. They are, I think, phenomenal guys. But again, that was my beef with the Electoral College, and I'll stop and let you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was really looking forward to this. I'm gonna say it again. Perfect. It's about as perfect as we can have it, Congressman. You mentioned illegals, okay?
Right.
Okay, and you're right. Because Obama and them had control of the census, they count everybody. I fought Mary Landrieu on this as well. But that's not anything to do with Electoral College. That's the ignorancy of the president and the left wanting to count people who are not legal. We ought to attack it from that point of view. In other words, listen to me.
Totally agree.
I'm going to let you comment, but you don't agree because you said we had major changes. So let me just throw it to you this way. You're a doctor, and you want to approach the Electoral College, which has nothing to do with the borders and the illegals and the things that we ought to be doing. And you're a doctor, so if I broke my right wrist, you want to put a cast on my left foot. That's what you're telling me. Now listen, I put that into strategy so we can both understand it. We have a problem with the borders, so let's throw out the Electoral College or do a major overhaul because we won't fix the border problems. Congressman, that is two different subjects for me. You would never put a cast on my left foot because my right hand was broken. You wouldn't do that. You're smarter than that. And I'm saying that the Electoral College worked perfectly. If we went by majority vote, do you know we'd have just put Hillary Clinton in? And you know we would have just put Al Gore would have been the president? Republicans won one popular vote. When I say popular vote, the most votes, one popular vote in the last 7 elections. That was George Bush when he beat John Kerry. And so what you're telling me is you'd rather Al Gore and Hillary Clinton be president? I don't think you feel that way.
Don't. And again, let's take both of those issues. My feelings on the illegals coming through. I want to build the wall. Let's go back to California. There were something like 300,000 anchor babies, babies born to illegals. Now they are American citizens. And guess what? They're going to grow up to be voters. And that's what I agree. You've got to secure the border. We've got to stop this craziness that's going on. My point is, I agree they should be two separate issues, but with this president and the way it has been going in the last years, they are not two separate issues. And this is because we have to count they are counting the illegal. I agree with you. I don't think we should at all, but they are counting the illegals to make up the Electoral College. But look, again, I think if Trump would have had to win the popular vote, he would have campaigned completely different, and I think he would have won. But again,
Congressman, all I want you to do is, because I know I believe you're working and thinking through the process. I do believe that, but they're two totally different because if the borders were done right and laws were enforced and we did the census right, we correct that without ever touching the Electoral College.
Oh, look,
so what you're telling me is we're not going to fix the real problem. So we're going to fix it on the other side, which is creating another problem. The Electoral College, I think, was brilliantly thought of. The border control is not brilliantly thought of. It's not brilliantly enforced either.
And I agree. I agree with everything you said. Fix the illegals so we don't have to even talk about the Electoral College. I think our founders were men of genius.
But Congressman, you say that, but you got on KNOE TV and said throw it out, and that's why a guy like me, I call it nutting up, kind of nut up a little bit, because I'm looking at this, Congressman, and going, I know you not very well like I know some of them, but I know you well enough. I watch you. I watch the votes and things that you make. You don't hear me on you a whole lot. But in this case, I just think you're way off, and I still think you're way off. They got a group of people now sending to the Electoral College voters, the people that actually get to vote. I'm getting emails from them. They're saying, do you need to vote for Hillary? She won the popular vote. Well, she probably really didn't win it because the illegals that probably voted in this election were 3 or 4 million. And that's what needs to be stopped. Let's don't throw out something that's a great process. Like I said, Hillary would be the president. Al Gore would have been the president. I don't think you wanted either one of those.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you just said, man. Again, you give a great argument, and I'm with you. I really am.
But if you are, then what's the changes that you really want to make then? Because if you thought through this, what changes would you make?
The only changes I want to make is what we've just alluded to. I want to stop those that should not be counted being counted as far as representation in Congress. Again, fix that problem. I am with you 1,000%.
Well, but let me ask you a question. With Donald Trump, with the new Congress, Congressman Ralph Abraham, our special guest, he just won 5th congressional district again. Why don't, if we approach it from there, I think we can leave the Electoral College alone. But y'all can get this done. We got the majority now. We got everything. They told us, why don't we get that done? And Electoral colleges, leave it alone. That's what my hope and prayer is.
Okay, and I agree. Again, we have got a small window of opportunity here for the next couple of years to do very great and big things. I know that Pence talks to our transition people here in Congress every day. I'm told that Trump and Paul Ryan talk to each other for 20 to 40 minutes every day. So I'm with you. This is an opportunity that we cannot squander. If we do, then we do need to go home.
Well,
we've been handed a gift, and we need to unwrap it very carefully.
Well, I do. I'm asking you to be a little careful on this because I know a lot of people that are passionate like me about the Electoral College, and the National Popular Vote Initiative is out there. They're trying to drive this. The thing is, we had a popular vote in Louisiana. We're still an independent state, part of the United States of America. Our state decided to go Trump. He should get all the votes. If we do something about borders and the census next time, I think we take care of this problem for good. If we ever win the popular vote and lose the Electoral College vote, I'm okay with that because states have spoken. And I like the idea of the small states having power. Louisiana has a little clout because of Electoral College. If we get away from it, we may not have the clout.
I agree, but we've got to get away from this liberal Democratic Party that allows these people to be counted. So I'm with you.
The national popular vote is being pushed by the Democrat Party and the left. But there's some people like you that have jumped in there with them, though. And when you make the comment, you jumped in there with them.
Well, no, I don't want to do that. You know that, and the popular vote is still. Again, we can hash this all day long, but again, I did certainly taught me hopefully a clear path on the Electoral College, but we've got to fix the illegals before we make this process better. Because if we don't, it just gets more diluted, and states like Louisiana lose all clout, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah. All right, Congressman Abraham, once again, congratulations on your election. We'll be watching. God bless, and anytime, you're always welcome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. You too. And I appreciate him, Brandon, because most of these people, not necessarily Congress, especially in Baton Rouge, they run from us. This guy didn't run. He ran toward us. Kind of like Brett Guyman. We like people. We respect that. We don't have to agree. Pretty boy Abad used to come on this program. Not so much me show. We got to go. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the Moon Griffon Show, it is your opportunity to be a voice. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook, live streaming right now at Moon Griffon. Brandon said people they get to see my expression.
Yeah.
Well, you get to see my laugh, too, but you get to see me just frown and bow up and everything else.
See, it's one thing that you get to hear him on the air going crazy or nutting up like he says. But then you actually get to watch it from my perspective and get to watch him going crazy when he disagrees with whoever's on.
It's not going crazy. It's nothing up. All right. By the way, and I do, once again, I want to thank Congressman Abraham. He called on this program. We had a disagreement, gentleman's discussion. I think he's smarter than that. I think if he backs off and realizes what we talked about, I don't think it needs to be tweaked. Not 1/10 of 1 inch. He mentioned that a majority of it needs to be tweaked, and I don't agree with him. Now, the border problem, that's another problem. That's why I mentioned that you don't put a cast on my left ankle when my right wrist is broke. That's not it. And he's a doctor. He got a kick out of that. I knew he would. But we got to be careful here. Don't listen. This national popular vote. You don't think the people that want this over the last 7 election cycles, which, by the way, for you people in Balkanville is 28 years, 7 times 4. They've been pushing this because they've been watching the trend, and they've been putting these illegals in here. And I guarantee you, people keep saying that Hillary won the popular votes, less than 1 million votes. But if you take away the people that probably voted here illegally, Trump probably won about 3 or 4 million. Number two, if we got a border problem, we shouldn't be counting people who are not citizens. What happens, though, these communities and even our state, and states even with the Republicans, they want to be counted because they get federal money. That's the only reason they want to be counted, but we ought to count citizens of the United States of America. We'll find out how many people are here that shouldn't be here. Now, some of them are here legally, green cards and things like visas or whatever. I'm not talking about those people. But the ones that ought to get back out of here are especially people that have criminal records and things of that nature need to go. And Trump needs to send a message. Look, if you're not here legally, you might want to consider going back because we're going to crack down in sanctuary cities too. And hold the sanctuary cities, hold them responsible for what they're doing by not giving them the money. Yeah, we ain't got no money anyway. I don't know why we think we got money. We don't have money anyway. But I just think this electoral college thing is getting out of hand. When I see a good man like Abraham for it, and for popular vote, and I'm using what he said. He knows that. I was using what he said. What's the alternative to it? Well, last thing, don't fall into this. Don't fall into, well, we need to tweak it. Well, I'm willing to tweak it a little bit. No. Leave it alone. Leave it the boop alone. Leave it alone. By the way, that's my boop, not the station's. Leave it alone. It doesn't need to be tweaked. Let's go target the things that me and Mr. Congressman Abraham just talked about, the borders and things of that nature. All right, quick call. Cornelius in Alexandria. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Moon, I was listening to you talk about all that food. You done made me hungry, you and Big Brandon.
What food did we talk about today? Did we talk about food
But
today?
look.
Must have been off.
No.
Okay,
Anyway.
Go ahead, Brandon. Cornelius.
Ralph was on our show, Bob and Jim's show, right before your show, and he essentially did that same song and dance and that crawfishing because you got him. Because these people are illegals that are voting that got Hillary Clinton over. So you're right, Moon. We need to stick with the Electoral College and just get U.S. citizens counted in the census.
Hey, Cornelius, when somebody comes on a program, any program, and you hear people talk about, well, we need to tweak it, they'd like to change it, it's working perfect. Why do you have to change a system that actually was brilliant from our founders? You don't.
It really was.
And it's like they're saying we need to tweak Obamacare. No, we need to kill it, cut it, knife it, and gut it. It's not going to work.
I agree with you, Moon.
So
hey, Saints win, Moon. Saints win tonight.
They didn't play. Oh, you already know they won.
Tonight.
All right, you already know they won.
They play tonight.
They better win because see, you made a prediction on my program, and I'm the only one. I'm the only one can make predictions and miss and get away with it, not y'all.
I'm calling you out, Cornelius. If they don't pull it off tonight.
Hey, if the Saints don't win, Brandon's getting his pay cut by 10%.
No,
it don't matter. It don't matter. This man wants you to get a pay raise. That's
Tell
it.
the King of Happyville that them Saints gonna win tonight.
All right, man, we got to go. We'll be right back. Say, watch me sing on Facebook, too.
Yep, that's your singing debut on Facebook Live.
And that's enough. And the ratings in for my singing. I'm done. Anyway, great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline talking about the issues that really matter. Well, for the most part, we like to clown around, too. And you can check us out on Facebook. We're streaming live at Moon Griffon, your opportunity to watch. And you can respond through Facebook. And as Brandon picks up some stuff that we need to talk about, we'll put that on. If you got a question or comment, you can do that.
So somebody recommended tying your hands and see if you could still do the show.
You know what?
A lot of hand movement, by the way.
That's how I talk.
I know.
That's who I am.
You talk with your hands.
So now all of a sudden,
expressive.
so let's get me off of Facebook so that they don't have to see my hands. You know, I could put my hands down like this and tap on the seat when I talk. That'd be good. And listen, I was ADD before it was cool to be ADD. Well, you could be like my buddy Jade. He's ADD. All right, I have it. I got it. I know, but I'm not taking any pills. All right, let's go to Paul in Pineville. How you doing, Paul?
Good this morning. How y'all?
I'm hanging in there, sir. Good to hear from you.
Well, good to see you. Talk to you again. Look, I had Congressman Abraham on the previous hour on Talkback 970, and I asked him about the Electoral College. Of course, he spun the answer just like he did, but I also told him straight up, I said, sir, you would have got defeated this time, except defeating Hillary Clinton was job one. You better go back and look at what the 210 and 214 midterms were about throwing the trash out. I said, you were elected to go up there and stop, and you went up there and joined them. So I said, I want to know about the debt ceiling increases you voted for. Well, he spun that and said, I voted against the omnibus. So I called right back immediately, and I said, sir, once again, you spun the answer. I didn't ask about the. That's what he cut in on me and said, "Oh, we don't allow one caller per day from." Well,
I gotta give it to Bob and them. I do one call a day too. Or really one call about every 2 weeks. Yeah. But listen. I can only, and I didn't get to listen to all that. I was only going to talk to him about the Electoral College. I hope we change his heart and his mind on it, because could you imagine Hillary would have been the president, Al Gore would have been the president. This whole movement is by the left of the country.
Right.
And I don't want,
silly.
And here's the thing, no tweak of it, no change of it, no talk of it. It's the Electoral College all the way. You let these nutted up fruitcakes get into this and they'll ruin everything we got.
Yeah,
so he needs to understand that.
I say this about the Constitution. That's the most perfect document man has ever written. And they better understand it was written by the inspiration of God. Now, it's not quite like the Bible. I'm not even trying to say that. But as far as what man wrote, the United States Constitution is the most perfect document man has ever written in history.
Well, you're not going to tell people. It wasn't flawless, but it was dang good. Got to run, Paul. Thanks for the call. By the way, the Cane River Pecan giveaway starts now. If you want to win some, you just got to email me, moongriffon.com, and tell me that you would like to win them, and we'll put you in the drawing, and at the end of the program, we'll draw, and people have been getting them, been freaking out how good they are. So we want you to have a shot at them, and maybe you'll be the winner. All right, let's move on. Mr. Charlie Buckles joins us in Lafayette. Charlie, how you doing?
Well, I'm a little incensed right now after the interview with Congressman.
Man, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?
Oh, you did it exactly right. I tell you what I'm incensed with is exactly his statement that he made, and he did not backtrack it at all. He spun it, and I am a presidential elector, and the thing that will stop what he is so-called concerned about is the Electoral College, and the Electoral College without being tweaked. Because what the Electoral College was all about is to avoid the tyranny of a majority. Mm-hmm. And that could be a majority of illegal aliens. It could be a majority of anything. In fact, it's, I think, one of the most perfect things we've got in our Constitution among a lot of public things. I give an example. In fact, I've gotten probably 500 or 600 letters and emails from people across the country. Probably 95% of them are women who are just scared to death of Donald Trump, asking me to abdicate my responsibility and cast my vote instead of to Donald Trump, but to Hillary Clinton.
I hope you're not listening to him.
Let me just tell you, I'm starting to have fun with it now because I'm starting to respond to some of them like, if it'll make you feel better, I'll be glad to send you a participation trophy.
Absolutely.
But let me. I've got to tell you, I've just got this one letter right here from Alex Curtis in New Orleans, and he's talking about, or she's talking about, I should say, Trump's, some of his statements. And here's what she says: whether these allegations are true or not, the presence of these accusations about the most powerful man of the country will give men the idea they can rape women with impunity. I'm now scared to be out at night in my own neighborhood for what people will do because of the Trump presidency. This is the hundreds of emails I'm getting that are saying exactly the same thing.
I bet they voted for Bill Clinton, though, didn't they? You think, Charlie, they voted for Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
That's when you should have been scared.
That's exactly right, and I point that out. And they also talk about Trump being a racist. Well, what I'm responding to them, they voted for a person, and they want me to vote for a person whose role model was Margaret Sanger, who was probably the most horrific racist in history. These people, I can feel the anger in these letters, and the fact that they're scared to go out because they think because of Trump, women will be raped with impunity. Did these people fall down a rabbit hole? What is going on here?
Yeah, well, what I would, and not even a suggestion, I'm just asking, and I'm not a Republican anymore, but the state Republican Party and everything, I think we need to get with our, especially Mr. Abraham, and he's saying his eyes were open after talking to us this morning, but we'll see. But we need these guys not to make statements like this. I mean, he's on record now saying he was for it. People need to be calling him and sitting down with him and explaining it to him. He's a doctor. I know he's smart.
Here's how I'm going to explain it to him. When we look at the tyranny of the majority, I explain it like this. Let's assume two wolves and a lamb happen to meet up together at lunch. And the wolves say, hey, let's vote and decide what we're going to have for lunch. And each of them have a vote. Bye-bye, lamb.
Yeah.
But if the wolves have one vote and they elect one person to cast their vote, that's the example of the tyranny of the majority. And that's what our founding fathers put in place to make sure that this country would survive decades after decades, centuries after centuries. Because when we go to plebiscites, pure democracies, that's always been the tool of despots throughout history.
By the way, Charlie, and one of the things you can say, Cuba was considered a democracy, and so was Venezuela. How'd that work out?
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is this national popular vote movement. He didn't answer that question. The national popular vote movement is an end run on the electoral college. And what they're doing is getting states in their legislatures to commit their electoral college votes to the results of the national popular vote. Now, that can be done. It's legal because each state decides how it will apply its electoral college vote. Do you know that the national popular vote movement right now has enough states on board to dedicate half of the electoral college votes to the popular vote?
Well, that's a shame. But now 20 votes, there's about 20 states go Democrat anyway. I got to believe that's most of that. But anybody that goes back and forth between Republican and Democrat or votes Republican most of the time, that is like putting the gun to your head and pulling the trigger. That is crazy.
That's exactly right. So thank you for standing up for that. I became pretty livid. I'd like to sit down and have a reasoned conversation with him because I believe that perhaps, there's not a full understanding of why this is so important. In fact, that the Electoral College will actually serve to solve one of the problems he talks about and not give these illegal aliens an extra vote.
Yeah. All right. Got to run, Charlie. Thanks for the call. We have time for one more or not? All right. One more real quick. Ray and Kaplan. Ray, welcome to the Moon Griffon Show.
Yes, Moon. My question to the congressman would have been, how do illegals get to vote?
Illegals don't supposed to get to vote.
Well,
but let me tell you something. I saw a number as much as 3 to 4 million illegals have voted.
Yes.
And so our problem is what's happening at the borders, and then some of these states are now letting illegals vote. There's your problem, not the Electoral College.
I understand that, but is that not a federal problem? Shouldn't the federal government be correcting that?
Absolutely, but the way you correct it is first at the borders, and we have a president who said, come on in, baby, we don't care where you're from. Come in here, vote, and that's your problem. I mean, the problem is not the Electoral College. It's working exactly like it was designed.
I think it might be fixing to change. You know how Trump's going to get all these Mexicans out of here, huh?
How's that?
One by one.
Well, the thing about it is, if you hear illegal and you hear illegal and you're not here for the right reason, going back does not hurt my feelings. I saw an article the other day that said some people are already starting to leave. I said, what's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with that at all. If you're illegal, you don't belong here, then you leaving, you're not depressing me. One less person to take care of. We got to take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. We'll take a break, be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. There's an opportunity on our Hickson Has It hotline. You can check us out on Facebook. We're streaming live. Moongriffon.com. I'm sorry, at Moongriffon. Not Moongriffon.com. And you can see how cool I am. Brandon's going, yeah, they go see how cool you are, right? Anyway, 844-766-6607. Hickson Has It hotline. All righty, let's go. And by the way, I got a lot of stuff to cover in a second. Boy, they are pounding, the nasty pounding of Scott Angel and them on Clay Higgins. But it's amazing, Brandon, if you look at social media, when Higgins responds, an unbelievable number of people that are backing him up. And Angel knows he's in trouble. The one that hits the hardest is the one in the most trouble, and that's all they got. Even Timmy Teeple's on Twitter now making comments. It's amazing. Also tops the budget in the state of Louisiana. We'll get to all that. Electoral College is basically what we've been talking about most of this morning. I want to thank Congressman Abraham for coming on a few minutes. And I got to believe that he's got to change his mind on that. Yes, sir.
I have a question. You mentioned Timmy Tebow coming out on Twitter and this
yeah.
Did he come out for Angel when Angel ran for governor?
Timmy Tebow and him ran the campaign for his governor's race.
What I'm saying is, did he come out?
I don't ever remember seeing anything like that. But you remember his clients in big trouble. They were bragging that Angel got 19% for the governor. He did good. 19% don't win your dog catcher, Brandon. Try to tell people. He only got 29% of the district that everybody knew him in. So they are the nastiest, ugliest campaign against somebody that I think I've seen in a while has been against Clay Higgins and Angel people, and the PACs are doing this because they apparently don't think they're doing too well. So they're trying to get people not to go vote is what they're doing as they work the Democrat side really, really hard. Matter of fact, I saw one, Brandon, I don't know if it was Facebook, that Angel said, you got to put me down there to work with Trump. And I thought, I'm going to make a statement, and I'm going to move on and get some more phone calls. I'm making a statement, and I'll stand back behind this, and I believe I'm 100% right. You ready? Scott Angel is a lot closer to what Hillary Clinton is than Donald Trump, because he's a liberal Democrat. His voting margins were best in the same areas Hillary Clinton got the most votes. His margins were the best in the areas Hillary Clinton got the most votes. That's the fact, Jack. So he's closer to Hillary than he is Donald Trump. For him to act like he's a Trump guy, send me there. When I saw that, I fell out laughing. First thing I said, hell, he's closer to Hillary than he is Donald. All right, let's move on. What are you? Now, by the way, when I'm laughing sometimes, if people look at this on Facebook, they go, "What is so funny?" You're not looking at Brandon laughing at me.
I'm making them on.
Brandon's over there laughing at me, and I'm laughing at Brandon, and we're going to put a camera on you. Let's go to Joe in Lake Charles. Joe, how you doing?
Good. Moon, good to talk to you. I've got two things.
Yes, sir.
One is, you're kind of changing my mind about the Electoral College, but in the past 12 or 16 or 20 years, something like that, I have felt that my vote in Louisiana didn't count because nobody cared about us. We've been in the Republicans' pocket for so long that we're taken for granted, so people don't care about talking to us. And for that reason, I was kind of biased against the Electoral College.
But just think about it, though. Just think about it, Joe. What I'm explaining to you was really that simple. You can't put it any simple. Look, I'm a simple guy anyway.
I understand that.
And all I want you to do is reconsider, if you're thinking it all needs to be tweaked and all this crazy stuff, it's working exactly like it was supposed to work, or we would have had Al Gore, and we'd have had Hillary Clinton for president of the United States. It keeps small states viable. Let me go back. You mentioned 15, 16 years. When Bush won the first time, if Louisiana and your vote and my vote had gone for Gore, Gore would have been the president of the United States. If Arkansas would have went, any of these small states smaller than us, 3 or 4 votes would have changed that election. It kept a small state viable. So that's what I want you to consider about that.
Yeah, but I don't care who wins. I've always been leave it to the people long enough, far enough, and they're going to get it right. And
we got it right. And we ought to be thankful to the founders.
Get it right.
Thankful for the founders the way they set this up. I'm just telling you, one of the best out of all the things they did in the Constitution. This could be one of the top 3 or 4 things that they did. Anyway, move on. You had something else?
I understand. Yeah, and you've convinced me now that it is pretty good protection against the majority. All right. Now, furthermore, I've read in the paper the other day that you and Cleckley and someone else are doing some type of association for something.
No, what we did was hold on. Monday night, I was at an event that was put on by some people in the Republican Party, and what they did was they did post-election analysis, and I was invited as one of the experts when I'm not. But me and Cleckley, I sat right by Chuck and Jeremy Alford. And then Lynn, you're a clerk of court guy, gentleman down there, real nice. He was there. So they did a lot of Q&As. They got a lot of pub from newspaper and TV. I didn't see any of that, though. I'm not looking for me to be in the headlines of the newspaper or TV, I can promise you. But anyway, that was what we were at the other night.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better because I was getting disappointed in you because I remember Cleckley as leaving his roots in Lake Charles and becoming one of Jindal's minions and being very political to actually to the, well,
he was the Speaker of the House for Jindal. There's no doubt about it. Me and Chuck, I had a lot of differences.
More than that for Jindal.
Well, I know, but I had a lot of differences with Chuck. But the other night was not the place. If it was a debate between me and Chuck about what went on in the General Administration, then let the fun begin. But that's not what it was. It was as a matter of fact, Chuck was very pleasant. He was super nice, and I enjoyed meeting him. I never really I met him maybe one other time, but he was very enjoyable. But you got to remember, he's not in office. But that was not what that event was, and you got to put that in perspective.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, thank you so much. God bless you.
All right, Joe. Thanks for the call. You know, if people will study, Brandon, the Electoral College at all, and understand what we have here in this particular deal, I think common sense people and smart people would really say, don't touch it. But you got a group out there, and they're trying to bring all these Republicans in, and you heard Charlie Buckles say that some states already voted for this. And our state has voted against it twice. We don't never, ever need to go to the stupidity of the popular vote. We don't think like California. We want to have our own set of voters. That's why we don't want to lose people and population in this state, because we used to have 8 congressmen and we used to have 10 electoral college votes. Okay? We didn't lose people because California getting illegals. We lost people because people left the state to go work in other states. We don't fix that problem. We think we got a tax problem. We're not taxing people enough in this state. That's what we believe. So what we're doing is we got a governor put in there by Scott Angel and Jay Darden saying tax them to prosperity, which can't happen. All right, Ralph and Dorleen. How you doing, Ralph?
I am doing absolutely wonderful, man.
Well, it's good to hear from you.
I want to talk to you about the Electoral College.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're a representative republic. We're not a true democracy.
Correct.
And we have individual voting rights, which makes us a democracy. But the thing is, our vote is starting to be perverted because we've allowed people to vote that don't allow. We've got the best opportunity in the world to get a national voter ID, picture ID, to stop the corrupt liberal Democrats from stealing elections by having people vote that's not allowed.
I don't think you need a national ID. I think what you need is just vote the electoral process to be fair, to be equal, and make sure people identify themselves. There's a lot of ways you can identify yourself, but having some kind of ID, I'm just telling you, you're getting into this. I don't want to get into this Germany where you got to have papers and walk around with papers and stuff.
No, I'm not saying that. All of us have to register to vote. If you want to vote legally, you have to register.
Yes, sir.
You have to have a piece of paper showing that you registered, just like you have a driver's license.
Yes, sir.
It can be put on your driver's license. It can be put on anything. My hunting license is put on.
I know this. If you do it legally, and the people illegal will never be able to get in if you do it that way. I don't understand, but it's still got to be state by state. We got to take a break. More of the Moon Griffon Show. We'll take a break and be back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Or check us out on Facebook, streaming live. You can look at the good-looking host. Remember, that's my words, not yours.
Somebody called you handsome.
Handsome?
Although I think that's because they were trying to get some pecans.
Kissing up, huh? Must be
Flattery,
damn Angel voter.
No.
By the way, I don't know if y'all caught this. They sent out phone calls for Angel just ripping Higgins. Listen, they were putting stuff like, felt it was true Clay Higgins threatened to kill a woman. Clay Higgins didn't pay his taxes. This is what they're sending out to people. This is the Angel people. Clay Higgins slept around a lot. Even asked it was true Higgins told he hated black people. This is what they put on phones. I think this backfires on Angel. This is what they're sending out. And he owed money and back tax. I mean, just one bad thing after another. It's amazing to watch. Then Timmy Teeple, that would be Bobby Jindal's boy and Scott Angel's boy. He tweets out, he's using taxpayer dollars to fly to D.C. and campaign for Congress. That can't be legal. Will he reimburse us? Well, Timmy, you work for Bobby Jindal. Y'all flew around like it was nothing to it all over these fundraisers and all that to run for president. Did we get any of that money back? Number two is, how can Higgins use money on taxpayers' dollars? Is he working for a government entity that would fly him over there? I mean, Timmy Teep on them make up more crap. But this is what you're running. How come they're not running on the merit of this man being in office for 30 years? I mean, don't y'all think that's amazing? And they got people out there sending these robocalls out there, just splattering the man all over the place. It's going to be interesting to watch if I would associate once again Clay with Trump. I would associate Angel with Hillary because he won the districts that Hillary won. That's what he got his votes from. Why is that, folks? Why did it have to be so rough? Because they smell of power, and they're scared of slipping through their hands. So this is a butcher attack by Scott Angel and his people. I don't understand. I mean, sending out robocalls like that. I mean, are we ever going to get this right? Well, we just got it right. Will the 3rd Congressional District get it right, too? It's amazing what Angel and them do. All right, let's go. Ray in Monroe. How you doing, Mr. Ray?
Hello, Moon. How are you doing?
Doing fine, sir. Good to hear from you.
Talk about the Electoral College. Of course, we all know that Trump will not be president until the Electoral College votes.
Correct.
And that is so important. And we've talked about this, but one thing I think is very important, talking to Kay Katz, you know Kay very well,
yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I sure do.
And Kay told me that as of today alone, just today, she's received over 100 emails of people asking her to change the vote that she holds, one of 8 votes in the state of Louisiana, from Trump to Hillary. These calls are coming from California, they're coming from Georgia, they're coming from all over the place, and you know Kay is not the only one receiving these calls.
No, they all getting them. They all getting them. Everybody's. I already saw letters from other people that have sent them to me, and I just kind of laugh because nobody's going to change their vote. You got to, I just want people to be very careful. This is the left. Everybody's got to understand who's calling.
This is the left. There are 305 votes, as I understand, that will vote for Trump, and I pray that none of those will change their mind. But I just think that the public who voted for Trump for this election needs to stand behind those people. I trust Kay 100%, and I want to let her know I'm standing behind her in her vote, and she assures me that she will do the right thing.
Well, I know Kay, Miss Kellogg, Katz very well. There's a lot of things Kay may do. Voting for a Democrat ain't happening. She's voting for a Republican. She's Miss Republican. I mean, she wears and smells and breathes Republican. I can promise you Kay Katz is voting for the Republican candidate as well as all of them. Look, this always happens in tight races. They did this when Bush beat Gore. Anytime Electoral College doesn't line up with the popular vote, I'll say it again. If you could take the illegals out of the popular vote that happened, Trump probably won by 3 or 4 million votes. I'm just telling you, they voted. They voted. They know it. But if I'm Republican, since I won, I go find all these illegal voters. I find them on a roll. I total them up. I let people know. And you can bet most of them voted for the Democrats because they don't care if they cheat, steal, lie, or whatever. If you're willing to kill babies in the womb, you're willing to cheat in an election.
Yeah. That's right. And, George Soros is behind a lot of these marches that are going on, and I'm sure he's behind these phone calls that are going out to the electorate.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at them at this point. I mean, they're nutting up more than I thought they were. And they're going to keep nutting up as long as Trump is the president. But you got to expect that, and we can live with it. Got to run, Ray. Thanks for the call. Let's move on. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. We'll move on to Carol in Erath. How you doing, Miss Carol?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to know if you had heard that the Republican-controlled House voted in favor of a tax on concrete.
Well, you act like I'd be surprised. I hope not, but it wouldn't surprise me.
They said that it overwhelmingly passed H.R. 985, the Concrete Masonry Products Research, Education, and Promotion Act. And they're saying that it's the way it's going to work is it would create this board, and then this board will have the power to establish, finance, and carry out coordinated research, ostensibly to promote masonry products in domestic markets. And they're talking about an assessment. The program will be paid for by an assessment, an administrative assessment. And in other words, Washington speak, that's a tax.
Yeah.
And the legislation calls for concrete masonry products to pay an assessment to the board that will begin at 0.01 per concrete masonry unit sold, and this includes concrete blocks and related units, and it will be capped at 0.05.
You know what you need to do to make sure, Carol? Because I don't want to confuse people. Call your congressman. Your congressman is Charles Bustani, and he's still a congressman until January the 9th or 20th. I think the 20th or when they're sworn in. So call Bustani. Anybody else listening, call their congressman and ask them to explain it to you. That way we'll make sure we're right. I got to go. Thanks for the call. By the way, Brandon, real quick. San Francisco Teachers Union to offer anti-Trump lesson plan to teach kids about racist, sexist Trump. Now, I'm against this, but if they're going to do this, I think the first person they're going to bring in as speaker, Bill Clinton. Let's take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Just saying he'd be a great speaker on the subject. He knows all about it. We'll be right back. He's a damn liar. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Hey, don't forget, you people that are used to having a traditional turkey and Thanksgiving, and nothing wrong with that. Why don't you spice it up a little bit with the beststopinscott.com. You can go check them out. Boudin, turduckens, Cornish hens, stuffed pork roast. I'm telling you, you can really, really put on a feast if you go to beststopinscott.com. It's really that good. If you had never tried it before, go on the website, order some of the best stuff you're going to eat anywhere. And the Best Stop in Scott can ship it to you. They ship anywhere in the world, really. Best Stop in Scott. Turduckens, they loaded up. We got something called a turkey roll. By the way, Brandon, I got that last year. It was absolutely delicious. It was a stuffed turkey roll. And they stuff stuff. I mean, you can, as a matter of fact, if you got a special order, let them know what you want and see if they can take care of you. And, man, bread, some of the best hog-head cheese I put in my mouth. Like a Brandon going, hog-head cheese, you're right. Boudin cracklings, Get them shipped for Thanksgiving, and you can still get them shipped out of here by Monday or Tuesday. So
I'm still thinking about the turkey roll.
Turkey roll is delicious.
Okay, so what is the
turkey roll? That's
perfect
for you and Hannah.
Okay, what is the turkey roll?
It's a deboned turkey that's stuffed, basically, what it is. But they call it a turkey roll.
Okay.
But, Brandon, it's delicious.
Ooh, that sounds
it really
good.
is. It's fresh turkey, and, you can get them different sizes.
Yeah.
But I've tried that one time. I'm going to tell you what, I should have tried it twice and the third time because it's that good. BestStopInScott.com. You know it to yourself. Damon was in here yesterday to do that. One more thing real quick. We'll take some more phone calls. You think that I love when nutting up's going on and I'm not the one nutting up.
Nut.
You ready? San Francisco watch this, folks. San Francisco Teachers Union to offer anti-Trump lesson plan to teach kids about racist, sexist Trump. I say bring Bill Clinton in. He could be the official spokesman. This is the filth they're teaching children in public school. The union is going to offer this. By the way, also Islamophobe.
Islamophobia.
That's it. Brandon.
Yes.
What do you mean? San Francisco public schools have been offered a classroom lesson plan. And this is what they want to teach kids. You want to know why kids become screwed up adults? Right here. Or they watch CNN. I mean, this is screwed up. They are nutting up at a highest level that I've ever seen. Brandon, now there's a news piece on this. Fox is running it. It's 54 seconds. I'm not going to send it to you, though. You know what? I am going to send this to you. I'm going to let you get this ready. I want to play this for people. I think it's worthwhile.
All right.
I think it's worthwhile playing this for people and let them know exactly what's going on. But, folks, this is going on in public school systems because they're nutting up about Donald Trump.
And this in California, right?
Yeah, here you go.
Also in California, they've got hundreds of people demonstrating against Donald Trump's senior advisor, Steve Bannon.
Bannon's a good pick. I didn't have a problem with that at all. All right, Brandon, I'll send it to you when you get it ready. Let me know. All right, Roberto in Lafayette. How you doing, Roberto?
Doing good, there, Moon. Let me compliment you on your bumper music, man. That's great.
You know, I wish you wouldn't say that. That means I got to pay the dang producer more money. Every time y'all say stuff like this, he say, "Hey, man, they're liking what I'm doing." You know, I got a new wife. I got to buy a big Christmas present. I know what's going on.
On this electoral vote anger that's going around the country, I think it's pathetic that had Hillary won the popular vote, there wouldn't be such an outcry from the Republicans, I guarantee you. But I think the electoral vote is right, and I think we should stick to it. And let me hear what your listeners have to say.
Hey, Roberto, you know what's funny? If you look back, I told you 7 presidential elections over 28 years. This popular vote movement's been out there a while. It's really starting to try to grow because the Democrats and the left and the leftists in this country are looking at this thing as a way we can continue to win. You realize there's 147 counties where half the people live in this country. They only have to go campaign in very few areas. We'll never see an election person come through Louisiana again. So it's a remarkable thing to watch. Electoral College, I'll say it again, is just about flawless, if not flawless. Yeah. It's working perfect.
Couldn't agree with you more, Moon. Keep it up.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the call. 844-766-6607. All right. Brandon, let me get to one call, then we're going to play it. Brandon has a piece. We want to play. I think it's 54 seconds. Let's go to Rick in Lafayette. Rick, how you doing, sir?
Well, thank you, first of all, for taking my call. You are truly a portal so that people like myself can kind of get stuff off our chest. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to talk about 2 things real quick, and the first one is about the Scott Angel Clay Higgins race.
Sure.
My guy is not in the runoff.
Okay.
So I will do my civic duty and vote. And so I'm undecided, or was undecided. The first thing I started hearing about Clay Higgins was the use of the word captain. It occurred to me, although I didn't agree with that, and that's not what pushed me over the edge, was that when you call an ex-senator a senator, or a mayor, or an ex-governor a governor, they don't seem to have any problem with that whatsoever, nor will they correct you. I've personally seen it. So when this
By the way, you are correct. You are correct. The governor, we still call him governor. They'll call him senator. Yeah, that is. I think that's a good statement. I think you're right on that.
And they never correct anybody. So when this gentleman who was a captain either uses it as a nickname or for whatever reason, who are they to comment on that? But that wasn't enough to push me over the edge. What pushed me over the edge was yesterday when the news came out, the negative ads about his upcoming suit with his wife, I believe it's spousal support or child support, whichever it was. Something that he hasn't even been found guilty of yet. And just so Scott Angel knows, people like me who are undecided, his own money pushed me to Clay Higgins.
Yeah.
His ads is what pushed me to Clay Higgins, because obviously he didn't listen to the vote for Trump. We're tired of that type of politics.
Well, let me say this,
I am.
Rick, let me say this. You're saying what I've been getting everywhere I'm going. They're not even listening, paying attention, and the ads are getting worse. I want to go back and tackle a little bit on the suit about him paying child support. Let me put it in perspective for you. It's going back to 2005. Okay? The suit's filed after he makes the runoff. The woman, the lady that married him used to work for Bobby Jindal. Scott Angel used to work with Bobby Jindal. Timmy Tepos running Bobby Jindal's campaign, and Faircloth filed the suit. It's all one big deal because they want to beat a guy that they feel like they can't beat him, so they're going to try to destroy him. Now, look, I don't know about the child support thing, and I've been divorced and paid child support, so I know it could be hairy. The problem is the way it was done is going to make people very mad because the people that voted for Trump are saying enough's enough. And they are. Yeah, and look, Scott's trying to run a deal, saying, I'm going to go support Trump. But then why did he's closer to Hillary Clinton. His best ballot precincts that he did well in are Democrat Party ballots. Precincts, go look at them. That's why he did the best at. And that was Hillary Clinton. Yeah. Hillary Clinton he's closer to, not Trump.
And Moon, right or wrong in reference to his lawsuit, what I, as a voter, saw out of it is this is something, again, that happened 11 years ago. 11 years ago, it wasn't important to you. So now it's not important to you.
Yeah.
Only if it is, it's because it affects you. It wasn't important to him then. So why all of a sudden is it important to him now? So his money pushed me to Clay Higgins. Clay Higgins can thank him.
It's important. It's important to them because they're trying to win, and they're supposed to have won it in the first round. They're not winning it in the first round. They only got 29%, and they looked up and said, whoa, everybody knew us. We had the most money. We're the front runner. We're supposed to win this. We got 29%. We better slam and jam. And I put the connection together, all the Jindal people. And the lady, his ex-wife, she lives in another state. But we're going to file suit after the runoff. Not in 2005, not in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Getting the runoff, I'm filing suit. So I'm not surprised because I think this is going to backfire. He's running hard left with the Hillary vote. I don't care how many times he mentions Donald Trump in an ad. I told y'all that was coming anyway. Oh, I'm a Trump guy. Where was that in the first round? A guy that may have voted for Obama. We got to take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. By the way, if you're getting mad at me, folks, don't get mad at me. Just look at the facts. We'll be right back.
How y'all are? How y'all are? It's Moon Griffon's.
That's not true. You're not coming out on a screen, Moon.
Let me tell you something. I came by. Well, me and Moon going to Rascals here in a little bit.
That's right. And I'm paying, by the way. Go ahead and tell them all.
That guy, Rick from Lafayette, that called, spot on. Let me tell you something.
By the way, I want you to, real quick, Scott joins us. Scott, real quick. I want you, because you're better with social media now, and which ain't saying much, by the way, but you're better than me. You mentioned that, they run all this negative about Higgins. And by the way, I'm just going to say you don't have a dog in the fight, right? You just watch an election, okay?
Right. I'm undecided.
That's right. You're undecided. But here's the deal. And you just mentioned about the guy, and I'm hearing a lot of that too, but you mentioned something really unique for people with Facebook and social media where it matters.
Here's what I'm seeing. Okay, so Angel's running, and the PACs,
are bombing him.
Which, of course, he has nothing to do with.
Oh, absolutely not.
Is running hit pieces on Higgins.
Yep.
Higgins responds on Facebook, just hitting, he's the devil, I got my hand on my gun, and, I'm going to go in there, it's the same old, same old. I looked this morning at one of his videos that he posted in response to Angel. Now, keep in mind, it's all free on Facebook.
Yeah.
He had over 1,000 likes and comments, over 1,000. He had thousands of likes, and he had 5,000 shares.
Okay, put that
so
in
what that means
with somebody that don't know about advertising and marketing.
So somebody sees the Angel commercial on TV, they go to Facebook, log on, get on Clay Higgins' page. There's Clay Higgins' videos, which is a response, basically an advertorial, a 2-minute commercial. They click on it, they like it, so they like it. Then they want to share it with all their Facebook friends. So this thing was shared 5,000 times and counting. The average Facebook person has 400 friends. That's 20,000 people that are going to see his video, and he pays nothing. It's brilliant. And Angel's an idiot for not figuring this out.
Yeah.
And Angel needs to know.
But they're going to find that out on election day if they're not careful.
Exactly. I'm predicting right now, and I've told you this, Higgins is going to win. He's going to win big. That's what I think. I think it's going to be a 60-40 or 55-45.
55-45 is
somewhere. That's a really 10-point butt kicking. Yeah.
If the Trump people go vote, they will.
Because what happens is Higgins' base is fired up. And every time a hit piece comes on TV,
it don't matter what it says.
It doesn't matter. It could say he drowned puppies. It doesn't matter now to them. Just like with Trump, he grabbed them by the blank. It doesn't matter. It fires his base up, and they're like, that's it, December 10th. I don't care if the sky is falling. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to grab my neighbors. I'm going to grab everybody I know. We're going to go vote for the man. I'm telling you,
it's interesting.
Angel is on a slippery slope he can't get off of. I'm telling you right now.
All right, Scott. Appreciate it, man. All right. I got lunch.
Rascals in 10 minutes for Rascals, baby. 10 minutes. I'd like to see Angel.
By the way, he's serious.
Oh, yeah, we're going to Rascals. Hey, I'd like to see Angel come on the show and explain why he's doing this.
Hey, look at his seat. You see that seat
Trump
microphone?
Figured out social media wins you an election.
You see that? You see that seat and microphone whenever they want to come?
Higgins has figured out social media wins you an election. Angel ain't figured it out yet.
Yeah. All right. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. I do want to mention real quick about my good friends at steinhome.com. And folks, they're having their Black Friday sale now, especially with appliances. Prices start now. Top name brands up to 40% off. Better brands, lower prices. I mean, what else you want? By the way, if you want to gear up for hunting season, there's a catalog. There's still specials going on there. They got a big giveaway going on. The Black Friday deals are all over the place if you check them out at Stein. Before you go, check out steinhome.com, and I think you're going to be glad you did, folks. But if you are rebuilding your home, rebuilding from the flood, don't go nowhere else. Go to Stein. They got everything you need, and they get it for you. And it's a great Louisiana company. The Steins know what they're doing. These are good people. When you walk into a Stein store, you tell them, I heard Moon Griffon bragging about y'all, so I'm going to check you out. I remember the story, Brandon. I got an email that said a guy said he was at one of the big department stores, not department stores, but one of the other competitors, sitting there listening to me. He said, you know what, I'm going to buy from a local guy that's in the state, Steinsy guy. Great story, 1,000 people working in those stores. Let's keep them working. By the way, Brandon, I'm looking at it right now. Big Easy turkey fryer. Okay, all this turkey fryer was $100, $79.99. Now, Brandon, this is something you and your bride can do. You can make this for her. She'll be so excited. Hey, she may even like you a little more. Anyway, Stein, everything for your home and yard. Brandon said, she likes me. She loves me. She married me. I know. I just wanted to say that anyway. And we don't need to bring wives into this anyway, right? No. All right, Andy in Lake Charles. How you doing, Andy? Thanks for holding. How you doing?
Fine, Moon. And your previous caller talking about Facebook, Higgins right now has 185,000 likes. And that's where he's at right now. And so, you know, what Scott said, he's right.
Yeah, but, you know, it's amazing that it's amazing that the Democrat in this race, Scott, has to be, they got to be so ugly to this guy, so mean, so nasty to win an election.
Well, he has a YouTube out right now on his Facebook. You get references to it. And it is the most awesome advertisement, a commercial, or whatever you want to call it. He hit a home run with it, and it addresses everything that's being said about it.
By the way, Brandon, I sent you something. If you'll look.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Can that be played?
Oh, I can go. I can go to the page.
Well, why don't you do this? I'll play one of his spots for him because I'm a nice guy, and his response to all this nastiness, ugliness, bitterness. By Angel, yeah. But that's what Angel and them are doing, and I know some chamber types, and I know some of the big shots. They want their guy in there because they know all that. But the bottom line is, we'll see what happens. We'll see who goes vote. I know he's working very hard with the leftist Democrat, the Hillary Clinton vote, because that's where his voters are coming from. So it is like, all right, Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really a good article, and basically it just kind of levels the field and says that, hey, you know, he's not calling him. He's not using the dirt. He just says that the dirt shouldn't be used. It's a great YouTube, and I highly suggest all you listeners to go play it. It's a few minutes long, and it's just great.
I think that he's on to something right here, you know, and I think, Brandon, the guy that called, they see this. The problem is I look for the Angel people in them to bear down even more. They got to figure out a way to get Scott over the measly 29% he got, and that's the problem. By the way, I did not mention, and I can't go a program without mentioning Bananas Foster, can I? I mean, gee whiz, he's running for the city. The word I got, Brandon, is, and I don't know if this is true or not, because people got to go vote. The whole key is people going to vote. If you don't go vote, anybody can upset anybody in an election. But the word is the governor's been behind Bananas Foster, as you know, but I hear he's kind of backing off. And the fact that he's backing off, he may put his name out there and stuff. He's backing off because he's got to deal with Trump. He's got to deal with this flood stuff. We got 6 representatives around the state of Louisiana that are, is it 6 or 5 Republicans? We got 6 congressmen. We're going to have 2 Republican senators if Kennedy wins. He's got to deal with Kennedy when Kennedy has embarrassed him down there by telling the truth. And so he's got to deal with all this stuff happening and changing. He's sitting there because of Scott Angel. He's sitting there because of Jay Darden, the type of knife Republicans that we're sick of. One man's opinion, folks, that's all. But there's a lot of people that believe like me. All right, we got to get out of here. Open Forum Friday tomorrow. God bless and have a great day. And you people watching us online, be cool. Be like Brandon, be cool. See you tomorrow.